Good morning, welcome to our first thoughts for this Sunday. And we've got a little reading from the prophet Isaiah this Sunday. And at that time, he was speaking to people who were in a desperate situation. The people of God, the people of Israel, their neighbours had attacked them. The big Babylonian Empire had attacked them and had overthrown them. Jerusalem, it was a city in ruins, the country was devastated, and the people were taken into captivity. They were in exile in Babylonia. Now, these people were longing to get back home. They just wanted to get back home and get back to some sort of normal way of life once more. And it sounds awful like just now. I suppose we're in a sort of exile just now. We're just longing to get back to some normal way of living and getting back to seeing each other and back to school and back to work and all sorts of things. These people were desperate to get back, and the prophet says to them, you will. We will get back to Jerusalem, we will get back home. It's not going to be exactly the same. Things are going to change. They're going to be a little bit different, but we will get back there. And to these desperate people, he keeps trying to give them messages of hope. And a little bit from the end of our reading today, which I think is just so beautiful. At the end of our reading, the prophet says, God never grows tired or weary. Never grows tired or weary. But we humans, we often grow tired and weary. And he says that God will give strength to the weary and he will increase the powers of the weak. And he says, look, we all get weary. He says even young people grow tired and weary. Even young people stumble and fall. But those, he says, those who trust in the Lord, their strength will be renewed. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. It's a lovely idea and lovely images as well. So I'm sort of thinking, well, it's all very well saying that if we can just trust in God, then we won't grow weary or tired, but I know a lot of us are probably weary and tired. But in our Gospel reading, we hear a little story about Jesus' early ministry, and he had a really busy day, and there was lots of things happening. He was in the synagogue, and then he was in Simon Peter's house, whose mother-in-law was unwell, and Jesus healed the mother-in-law. And then lots of people from the neighbouring villages came and brought people who were sick and maybe tired and weary, and he saw all these different people. A really, really busy day. And then next morning, the disciples can't find Jesus, can't find him anywhere, and he's disappeared. And then eventually they hunt him down, and he has taken himself off on his own, and he spent the morning, early in the morning, in prayer, just reconnecting with God and recharging his batteries. So I think one of the ways that maybe we can try and help ourselves not to become too tired and too weary is about thinking about how we use some of our prayer time. And there's lots of different ways that we can pray, and some of the really ancient prayer methods were what they call breath prayers. So we're using our breath to help us pray. Now the ancient people, and still many of the Jewish people today, they say that you should never even say the word God, and they had a strange way of writing that very early on, where they just had four letters, which they thought, well, that's unpronounceable, you can't even say that. But in Christian terms, we often say this as Yahweh, Yahweh. And there's an ancient prayer which just looks at these two syllables, and rather than saying it, we're almost just breathing it. So in the in-breath is Yah, and so we're trying to in-breath capturing Yah, and out-breath way, offering back to God. So breathing in all the goodness, Yah, and out, way, offering back to God. And it's a really nice way to try and pray, and just to go way. and you just focus on your breathing. And they say this is a prayer to God, and it's a prayer with our very breath. So every time we're breathing, we're praying to God. So a nice way when we're feeling weary and tired is to spend a couple of minutes just doing a breath prayer using Yahweh. Yah in, way out. And I think you can generally feel yourself just getting stiller and stiller, and hopefully it takes away a little bit of the tiredness and weariness. Thanks very much, and take care. God bless.